videos like this. This just bugs me, you know, when they just get the fuck up, you know, and get out their room, act like they're not even there. Oh, I didn't see you guys there. Oh shit, well, I guess I should start talking about what the video is that I planned today, because wow, I didn't know I had my camera on. What the fuck? Amongst all my many years of experience, many being 20 years of living life, I came across catfishing. 2 catfishes to be precise, and they were on the platform of PlayStation. Why PlayStation? Because back then, I was a horny adolescent boy that had bobos like that. So, amongst the 2 catfishes that catfished the fuck out of me, there was one that was really dramatic and tried to kill itself, and there was one that pulled the actual poop out of me because he was smart and slick. This kind of happened in between remember the story I talked about with the Smack Ass Friday? This happened around that time, alright? So I had my group of friends back then. We played like Naruto something, or maybe Dragon Ball Z. I don't remember what it was exactly. But we were on PlayStation 3 and we went in these PlayStation chats. Now, if you ever went into a PlayStation chat where you talk to people verbally, you know it's like a big ass white box. You know what I mean? I made a video a long time ago with the series that I stopped doing called Sunday Ratchetness. If you watch Sunday Ratchetness 1 and 2, you'll see the big ass white box I'm referring to. So as we were doing that, as we were, you know, talking and living our life, we came across this thing named Yoko Narukami. Now that is its PSN. I don't know if it still uses it, but if it does, fuck that thing. Now Yoko Narukami gave the image that it was this badass bitch based on his Facebook account that it linked in the chat, because that thing was attractive. The thing that it showed off, pretending to be it, of course. I never encountered a catfish. I remember the TV show was on MTV, but I never thought that would happen to me because I thought I'll never get fooled. So here I am, late at night, weeks later, talking to this thing in the chat, just me, myself, and the thing, with my fucking PlayStation camera on, and I think to myself, what am I doing? So anyways, we're in this chat, and we're just like talking about like future and meeting each other, and all this gay ass shit, you know? Funny story too, my homie was talking to the thing too. We both found out we're both talking to it, and we kind of got mad at each other, but then again, I'm like, alright, you know, best man wins. If you get that thing, which we called a girl at the time, if you get the girl, then you get the girl. If I get the girl, then I get the girl. But we ain't dicking her at the same time, alright? Keep that shit in mind, we ain't gay. So, he was like, yeah, alright. One day, it turned on its camera by accident. And amongst turning on his camera, I saw the dude with a big ass face. And I'm like, alright, who the fuck is that? I saw the voice with the face, but it declined it so many times when I brought it up. It's like, that was my cousin, that was my cousin. I'm like, no, bitch, that was you. I'm just like, you know what? Now I know not to try to go for that thing, but at the same time, I was the type of person that if you were a dude, if you're catfishing me, if you're gay, whatever, I didn't care at the time too much. I was kind of like, you know what? We already have this relationship as a friendship, kind of. So you know what? Let's keep it there and let's not try to mess with it too much. Now I was a little bit mad that it catfished me at like a tiny bit because we're talking about future shit that was really early to talk about. But at the same time, I looked at it as that was my fault. You know what I mean? I didn't think about it, so the blame's on me. He knew he got caught, and he was probably thinking to himself, oh shit, they probably don't want to be my friend, they're gonna expose me, this and that, because people that usually catfish, they have something to hide, you know? They all have their own story most times, you know what I mean? So I can only imagine its story, because he was talking about his cousin died, his mom died, his dad died, and that may actually be true, but because it lied initially, I can't believe it anymore. So everything started happening terribly to this man. And I'm thinking to myself, yo, like, are you okay? I try to console the dude and be like, I got you, you know, what do you want to talk about? If you need somebody, I'm here, because I like to think that I'm a good friend. I like to try to be there for someone that needs me, you know what I mean? So amongst all of my trying to help that thing, it decides to want to kill itself. Now, I went into that chat to try to prevent that from happening. We were in there for like at least a good 5 to 3 hours with few other people I didn't like in there. We were talking to this thing like, don't do it, Yoko, we love you. It said it took a pill with this other gay dude. They said they're gonna kill themselves together. They pretended to kill themselves together. They made new PSNs and hid from the world. They got exposed later on and people found them, and they started hitting up the old people that they fooled about that, and you know, it was so fucking weird. There's a few people I don't like, you know what I mean, in this world that I've met. You know, it's only a few, like probably like 3 or 2, and that person is one of them for just playing around with that, because you don't play around with death at all. Like, that's a fucking serious thing. So if you're watching this, which you probably are, because I remember back in the day, you were enamored with how my YouTube channel was growing, and when I was at like 500 subs, yada yada. If you still watch me to this day, Fuck you. That's why you don't have titties. Yeah, feel the pain. Besides that, that thing happened and it was like years later. And this kind of went into the weed story. Now, if you remember the weed story, you remember it. But if you don't, go watch it. Now, I had a breakup that I mentioned in the story, and amongst that breakup, I was depressed. So after the weed stuff was gone, after I stopped doing that, I kind of started to try to get myself back into a happy state, and amongst doing that, I played games a lot. The thing that made me happy the most was video gaming. Upon that, I started doing YouTube. That's another story for another day. Amongst me meeting people on the PlayStation site and just talking to people and try to make my gaming experience as fun as possible, I met a group of people that were good at the game that I was playing at the time, which was Naruto Storm 3. We made a group chat and we talked, and amongst my talking, we encountered another catfish. Now, from my previous catfish experience, I was hella paranoid amongst any girl I met over social media. So this thing was no exception. He came in here, his name was Hayara, and even though I respect Hayara more than I respect that thing, it's not Hayara anymore, it doesn't go by that name, I still don't like being lied to, so because you lied to me, I will tell the truth about you. But it's not an exposing video of any sort. This is me telling a story that I find entertaining. So, amongst me talking to this thing named Hayara Heavy, we started flirting, because Hayara, like the other one, gave an image of a girl that he's supposed to look like that was attractive, and my stupid ass was like, oh damn. Hayara gave the perception that I was an editor of a highly caliber. I saw its edits, I loved what it could do, and I thought to myself, how dope would that be? The concept of like having a girl that can edit fucking videos doper than me. That's not even a word, doper. Better than me? I don't know. I really loved its art, you know what I mean? I wanted to learn from it in a sense, and my admiration for the thing itself drove to a flirting habit that was started. After the last time, I didn't go too in-depth like I did before. I remember one day it talked to me about some shit when I said I just got back from the gym, and it was talking about like,
I bet you look really good right now from the gym, man meat.
That creeped me out because I wasn't really trying to flirt with it too in depth to the point to talk about sex or anything like that. So I stopped talking any type of flirty shit with that thing. Lo and behold, my homie was talking hella in depth with that thing, like they were flirting mad high key. Like I couldn't tell if they were dating or not. But for the respect of my homie, I'm gonna call him Dark, alright? Dark knows who he is. Dark, you a fool. My homie Dark and Moses were the people that were involved in this situation to the degree of like trying to figure it out. I didn't care too much for figuring out if this thing had a dick or not, but at the same time, in my mind, I started believing it was a dude, and I left it at that because I was trying to grind on my YouTube, I was trying to grind on school. I had too many other things to do in my life to focus on this dick chick. Time went by, and Moses was really getting into this thing to see if it was fake. He was finding out this dude's picture, a story that he gave that conflicted with the past story. He was figuring this shit out. Like, if you ever watched the anime Death Note, like, Moses was L, and this bitch was Kira, and they were clashing. So, there was a time where Moses figured this thing out to the T, and he explained it to me, and I'm like, damn, son, that's an actual dude. But because Dark was so against believing that it was a dude because he really liked it, that he like negated all that shit out the window, and it made me a little bit mad because I didn't want my homie dating a nigga chick, you know what I'm saying? I was upset. I'm like, if you're gonna be gay with that thing, you're gonna make me gay in association. So in the transitional period of us talking about that, I started getting more involved with figuring this thing out if it was a dude. So long story short, one of my friends now, named Gamaholic, put a tweet about Hayara saying it was a dude, you know what I'm saying? He said it was a dude without any proof, and Hayara looked up to Gamma, and then Hayara started unraveling. From that point on, it made a lot of mistakes with their stories, a lot of things started clashing that I was saying. Moses started seeing it like unraveling. Moses put it against a corner, not literally of course, and Moses exposed it for being a dude. Now, amongst Moses exposing this thing for being a dick chick, it then came to me and apologized. Now I accepted the apology because I didn't go too in deep, but my homie Dark didn't accept it too much, so that's his shit. Even now to this day, I don't hate it, I respect it, and I know he might watch this video or watch some of my other videos along with the first one. I find that a little bit weird, just a tad bit, but you know, forgive but never forget. I feel like that's the philosophy that I live by. But if you're somebody out there that's pretending to be a fucking dick chick, don't, alright? You got a dick, you're a dude, accept the fact that you got a pee-pee.